The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Munker, his guests, and callers on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2020. All rights are reserved.
It is a national tragedy. The Free National Movement Deputy Chairman, a former Deputy Speaker in the Honorable House of Assembly, and the former Member of Parliament for Tall Pines, Donald Saunders, a twin. He was literally executed in Gambia village last night. It has devastated a nation. It is a major incident. That is not to say that all murders are not, but everybody knows who Donald Saunders is. If you thought that was bad, about 3 hours later in Bimini, an unidentified Negro male, he was also murdered at one of the resorts. I shall tell you how. In the district of New Providence, namely the western part of the island, in the village of Gambia, a justice of the peace stood as a citizen openly and declared to officials of the Royal Bahamas Police Force that which he had observed. So it is going to be an interesting story, and it is a story that demands the truth. The nation, we demand to know what are the real circumstances surrounding the death of a citizen who had perhaps one of the greatest potential to become even a greater contributor to the political fabric of our society. I saw Don last week Thursday outside of the Supreme Court. There he was with Adrian Gibson and a number of Negro defendants. We'll talk about him. The murders must stop. The nation must unite, and we must declare that anyone who commits murder and is convicted will suffer death. This is Freedom March. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Your Majesty, when are we going to hang? It's time to hang. It's time to hang. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Munker, and of course there is breaking news which took place from around 9:30 p.m. last night, when we all began to receive report that the Free National Movement National Deputy Chairman, a former Deputy Speaker in the Honorable House of Assembly, and indeed the former FNM Member of Parliament for Tall Pines, Donald Saunders, who is a twin. He was literally executed. It is alleged that the gunman was wearing a white gloves. That is a serious allegation, because in the district of New Providence, a Negro citizen told police in the presence of one, maybe two, but definitely one of the King's Justices of the Peace, that Don Saunders was sitting at a table with a citizen, a female citizen, when a Negro gunman approached them. And that created shock. It created pandemonium and confusion. as those people who gathered to socialize at a hideaway. I think it is called Rags Hideaway at Gambia Village. And in that confusion and pandemonium, those who were there at the rear of the property in the dark, it is called Rags Hideaway because it is alleged that there is no light, and if you go there for socialization and frolicking, it can be done in a very, very quiet and comfortable manner. So we shall show you that environment, and it is so devastating when the justice of the peace, who was present and who had to hear the bizarre story, I do feel for the justice of the peace. What we will do is we will also draw to your attention that perhaps shortly after midnight, there was a killing in Bimini. Don Saunders, he emerged as the Bahamas' 35th murdered victim, and the unknown Negro person who was killed at Bimini last night, or should I say shortly after midnight this morning, he emerged as the nation's 36th murdered victim. Both cases must be given full attention by the police, but we have to place plenty emphasis on these murder cases, and I find this whole incident involving Donald Saunders to be shocking. That is not to say that the other murder is not shocking, and perhaps going forward, the police who issues liquor license is going to have to say to all businesses, there has to be plenty lights, and perhaps gone are the days where a barroom, a nightclub can just be totally dark. There has to be lights, but we'll come back to it after my spiritual advisor, who is here, Bradley Roll. Welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you so much. Good to be here, sir.
A very sad day in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Indeed.
The death of Donald Saunders, a twin whom we all know. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, in Bimini, there was another murder shortly after midday. Don Saunders' case is indeed very, very interesting because it is alleged by a Negro witness who told police in the presence of one of the King's Justices of the Peace that he was present. He was shocked when a Negro man wearing a white glove approached Don Saunders, and a female pandemonium broke out as people ran for cover. And of course, Don Saunders and the female also break up run. Shots were heard. The call the police was issued, and they were all shocked to see how quickly the police responded. Among those officers who responded was Commissioner Police Clayton Fernanda. So it's a very sad thing, and we do have a video that we will show, perhaps after you would have conducted the scriptures. After all, this is Holy Week. So my spiritual advisor, if it pleases you, behold the Bahamian people.
Thank you so much, Senator. Good to be here. We got to read today from the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11. I'll be reading verses 23 to 26. The Apostle Paul here is writing to the church of Corinth and reminding them of the memorial and the purpose for it. And he says here in verse number 23, he says, "For I received from the Lord what I also pass on to you. The Lord Jesus, on the night he was betrayed, took bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and said, 'This is my body, which is for you. Do this in remembrance of me.' In the same way, after supper, he took the cup, saying, 'This cup is the new covenant in my blood. Do this whenever you drink it in remembrance of me. For whenever you eat this bread and drink this cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes.'" 1 Corinthians chapter 11, 23 to 26, the memorial of Jesus Christ. The word of God is always blessed. Amen. Thank you so much, Mr. Dusa.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor. But let us pay bills early, because there is a lot to be said about the escalation in crime and perhaps Donald Sanders' murder. We can say that all politicians bears responsibility for it. And so we'll pay bills, and then we will continue to discuss information that is emerging in the aftermath of the murder, execution of Donald Sanders. So we are talking about Western Air. Western Air now flies to Naughty Lutra and Nassau on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings, as well as Sunday evenings. Visit www.westernAirBahamas.com to book today. Western Air is powerful. And of course, we also want to remind members of the public that at the Centerville Food Store, my spiritual advisor, what kind of sales are taking place at the Centerville Food Store? Because Good Friday is approaching.
Yeah.
And
Tomorrow.
we have Jamaican buns.
Yeah, they got the Jamaican bun, the Jamaican cheese, the water crackers, the bami. They also got the bullet, the Jamaican bullet, along with the spice bun and also the Jamaican bun and the Jamaican cheese as well. So going down to Centerville Food Store, they're located 630 East Avenue in Centerville. They're going to be open tomorrow. They will be open tomorrow from 7 to 3 p.m., 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And of course, they return to regular hours on Saturday, which is from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. And of course, on Sunday, they'll be open from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then on the holiday, they will be open again from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. So those are the hours of opening for Centerville Food Store. You can go there. They have a very huge supply of the holiday weekend, Easter Jamaican bun, spice bun, Jamaican cheese, water crackers, bami, and the list goes on and on. Quite a bit of Jamaican products on sale at Centerville Food Store. The number there is 325-8106. That's the telephone number of Centerville Food Store. The number is 325-8106. Or when you go there, you can ask for the proprietor. His name is Mr. Horace Miller. All right. Thank you so much, Senator.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor. And of course, everybody ought to know by now that Monday coming is going to be Easter Monday, and in Adelaide Village, St. James Anglican Church, well, they are having a fundraising event, so there are tickets on sale. So I want members of the public to go down there and to participate. And then, of course, those persons who would have won the 2 tickets, well, today is going to be, well, please come in quickly and get your tickets, because, you know, tomorrow is Good Friday. I'm not going to be here. And then after Good Friday is Saturday, Sunday, Monday's a public holiday. So that is when the cookout will take place. So we thought we will tell that to you. Well, having told that to you, my spiritual advisor, what time is it at this very point?
We're looking at about 20 minutes after 4, 22 minutes after 4.
So we do,
What?
yeah.
Did you do an ad just now?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So folks, the breaking news took place last night in Gambia Village at a place called Rags Hideaway. Rags Hideaway. It is a very interesting place, a very interesting bar. It has no doors. It has no windows. You sit up in the yard. Everybody sits in the yard under the variety of tropical trees and plant. And when you sit, you are in the dark. So, unless somebody really, really know you, people won't be able to tell who it is sitting under the tree. And we do know that the Free National Movement Deputy Chairman, he sat under a very exotic tree, and his drink, or the drink that he shared with his guests, still sits on the table up to this morning. And it is still there. It has not been spilled. It is almost spooky to see that the drink is still there after you would have heard the reports of people running up and down, hiding, and the alleged many shots that were fired. So it was something to behold. The community still appears to be in shock over what has taken place, and it appears from community people that this is like one of the favorites hangout of the Free National Movement Chairman, Donald Saunders. So it's very, very tragic, very, very tragic. You would recall that leading up to the 2017 general election, Dr. Hubert Minnis, he had promised that a Free National Movement government will finally deal with the issue of capital punishment, and those persons who were convicted of murder. Dr. Minnis had promised that he would move all the impediments and he would begin to carry out capital punishment. And we do know that Don Saunders was a key supporter and ally of Dr. Minnis. After all, he did emerge as the deputy speaker. But Dr. Minnis was not genuine, he was not sincere. So if I do allege that the blood of Donald Saunders is on his former prime minister and former leader's hand, that would be Dr. Hubert Minnis, I would be right, because Minnis did make that political promise and he did not keep up to his word. He did not stay to his word. So that would be very, very sad. I also know that the death of Donald Saunders would be very devastating to opposition leader Michael Pintard. Outside of saying Don Saunders last week, Thursday, outside of the Supreme Court, after they would have learned that the Court of Appeal had rejected the application of Long Island Member of Parliament Adrian Gibson and his co-Negro accused. He was outside the Supreme Court with the many senior attorneys, they having learned that their application had been rejected. But prior to that, at Arawaki, he has been accompanying the opposition leader, Michael Pintard. And so there have been at least one, possibly two dinner meetings that Michael Pintard held at certain restaurants that Donald Sanders accompanied him. We do know that because they stopped at my table and they said hello to me. So that is how I'm able to tell you that both Don Sanders and the opposition leader, Michael Pintard, they worked closely, and you can see it. When we come back, we're going to look at some videos. We're going to continue to talk about Donald Sanders, and we're going to continue to demand that those who are guilty of committing a capital offense upon conviction, be it resolved that they suffer death in accordance with the law. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the families of murdered victims. To Freedom March, my name is Rodney Monker, and the breaking news is the fact that the Deputy Chairman of the Free National Movement, well-known citizen, well-known politician, a former Speaker of the Honorable House of Assembly, a former Member of Parliament for Tall Pines, he was murdered last night, and according to an eyewitness who spoke to police in the presence of one of the King's Justices of the Peace, the eyewitness alleged that a gunman he saw wearing a white gloves walk to the table of Mr. Sanders and a female who sat with him. And when that was observed, when the people saw the gunman with the white gloves pulled out the gun, panic break out, pandemonium break out as people ran. Some ran towards the main road, some ran in different direction, and it is alleged that Mr. Sanders ran to the eastern part of that hideaway, Rags hideaway. There, later, his body was found near a cesspit. So we look at the video and see what aerial information we can learn from that community. Mr. Producer. Today is Thursday, the 20th of March, 2000. Rodney Monker reporting live from Rags Hideaway on or in Gambia Village. Last night, shortly around 9:30 p.m., Don Sanders became the nation's, or should I say, one of the nation's latest murder victims, when it is reported that one or more Negro gunmen held up this hideaway, and in the process gunshots were fired and Don and other men ran in various directions. This is where the Free National Movement Vice Chairman Don Sanders sat with a female supporter last night, minutes before he was approached by a Negro gunman. And of course, according to sources, this is Mr. Sanders's last drink. And so when he is alleged to have been approached. He and others ran towards the eastern part of this night spot. There, later on, he was found shot to death. So it's a very tragic situation in this wonderful, quiet neighborhood. And of course, as the news went out immediately and the police were contacted, among some of the many senior officers who responded to this crime scene was Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernanda. So there was a high team of leading police officials who came to the scene of this crime. So there is a major and intensive investigation taking place here on the island of New Providence. And according to a source, Dawn ran towards the eastern end of this hideaway. There he fell near the cesspit, and apparently his body was found here at this spot. So this is where his body has been found. So there is an intensive police investigation into this latest homicide. Don Saunders is an attorney by profession. He's the former Deputy Speaker, a former Member of Parliament for Tall Pines, and of course one of the Vice Chairman of the official opposition Free National Movement. So this is indeed a very devastating crime that occurred here last night. And of course the hideaway, I'm advised it's called hideaway because there is no lighting in this area. So this area is extremely dark, and so there is an intensive investigation taking place. So this is the latest of one of the murders that occurred last night, and we also understand that there has been another murder which occurred in Bimini. So this is Rodney Monka reporting live from Gambia Village, where the Free National Movement, former Deputy Speaker and former Member of Parliament for Tall Pines, Donald Saunders, met a tragic death last night. So it's my hope and prayer that the Free National Movement will announce that it now supports capital punishment. And I do believe that Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis must take responsibility for the crimes that are taking place, because Minnis had a promise leading into the 2017 general election that if he is successful, becomes the nation's next prime minister, a Free National Movement government will move immediately to introduce capital punishment and to remove the impediments that prevent the states from executing convicted murderers. Rodney Monka reporting live from Gambia Village. Thank you. So folks, that is what has occurred based on investigation that took place in Gambia Village. So it is indeed a very tragic situation. And so the nation, this may be the catalyst for the governing Progressive Liberal Party and the official opposition Free National Movement to come together in national unity and in solidarity, and let us now agree that the old ancient mark that we have moved shall be restored. Can you imagine that men who are not 100 years old, they have been successful in blocking capital punishment? When capital punishment existed under our laws for hundreds of years, and that capital punishment help us to manage those who will disobey the law and commit murder. We must return to capital punishment, and we are now seeing, perhaps for the first time in a long time, that our political leadership has been murdered. And I don't care what sin that Donald Sanders may have committed or may not have committed, he did not deserve to be murdered. And so when you listen to the witnesses, when you listen to the people, it is shocking, their report. Can you imagine that you are at a hideaway, having a wonderful time, you are in the company of friends, you're sitting at a table with a female, and lo and behold, you look up, and when you look up, a man wearing a white glove is pointing a gun directly at you. That would be shocking. That would be a nightmare. That is what the people have told the police in the presence of one of the king justices of the peace. God save the king. My spiritual advisor, do you have any comments in view of the fact that these murders are escalating? Now we see a prominent citizen, an officer of the court, Don King, Don
Sanders. Yeah,
Sanders.
It's just so unfortunate, but let me first of all extend my sincerest condolences to the family, to his wife Tiffany, of course the children, the son, Don Jr., his twin brother, and also to his daughter, who I understand is away in school, and also to his mom, whom I understand was on her way to Andros and of course had to return back to the capital. Condolences, of course, is coming from Freedom March. We hope that the God of all comfort be with the family at this time during this very, very tragic incident. Yeah, and I guess, you know, the thing is, we need to find a way to get into the minds of these criminals, to get them to see that they just don't have the right to just take away somebody's life because they feel they can do it, you know. Anytime we have citizens like that living among us, it's time to take them out from among us. They should be purged. And the way to purge them is, of course, through capital punishment. It's a very unfortunate incident. Don is a very nice gentleman. The last time I spoke with him, we had a very interesting conversation. We exchanged numbers. And, you know, it's just one of those things in life you wish didn't happen. It has happened. We hope it doesn't happen again. And, of course, we hope the government does have the fortitude and the testicular might to deal with those impediments that of course is preventing the state from carrying out capital punishment. Condolences to the family, of course, and condolences to all the friends of Don Sanders. Very unfortunate, Sandra.
Yes.
Very unfortunate.
And of course, we have had two statements issued, one from Prime Minister Philip Davis, and of course, the Prime Minister offered his condolences on the death of Don Sanders. So I am looking for that statement. But both Prime Minister Philip Davis and the former opposition Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Minnis, together with the new FNM leader, Michael Pentad, they all sent condolences to the family and friends and members of the public on the death of Michael Pentad. So that is very interesting. So I shall read to you a statement from Prime Minister Philip Davis. And Prime Minister Philip Davis on the death of the F&M deputy chairman. And the Prime Minister said how deeply saddened by the tragic reports that Don Sanders, the former member of Parliament and deputy chairman of the F&M, has been killed. My wife Anne and I extend our sincerest thoughts and prayers to his wife Tiffany, children, family, friends, and colleagues. During this time, I ask that as the investigation carries out, as the investigation is carried out, we respect the family and allow them space to grieve. So the Prime Minister immediately issued a statement extending his deepest condolences to the opposition deputy chairman. So this is an investigation that must be open and transparent. The police must investigate, and it must tell the public the results of the investigation, because we live in a period where the devil can be mischievous and idle people can pass and spread idle propaganda. And so investigation must be swift, it must be thorough, and the public must have the facts, because Don Sanders is a public figure. And we cannot ignore that. We cannot ignore the fact that he once served as Tall Pines Member of Parliament. We cannot ignore the fact that he served as the nation's Deputy Speaker. We cannot ignore the fact that he holds perhaps one of the highest political office in the official opposition Free National Movement. And therefore people can be wicked and spread vicious lies and innuendos. And so that is one of the reasons why I decided, let me go down to Gambia Village so that I can speak with people and ascertain what has perhaps taken place, or what people are saying took place or are suggesting. And so one of the key points here is Donald Sanders, apparently he's a frequent visitor to Gambia. He's also a frequent visitor to Raig's Hideaway. And one of the major attractions of Raig's Hideaway is that you can wine and dine and no one see you, because there is no electricity, and you can sit under a variety of exotic trees. He was there, and he was there in the company of a female. And according to Negro people who were present, they told the police that they saw when a Negro man with a white mask approached Dawn and the woman, and the Negro man held a gun. And that is when pandemonium and confusion broke out. People began to run and scatter and so forth, and Dawn ran east. And there in that area, he later, when people returned and the noise of gunshot, dissipated, Dawn appeared to have been the only person, it appears, based on what they were telling the police, it appears that Don was the only person who was unfortunately shot. And so I find that disturbing that all them shots that people claim that they heard, it almost suggests to me, with that many shots, it is only by the grace of God, it is only miraculously that others were not shot. But Don, it is alleged, was the person that was approached with a gun as he sat with a female. So therein lies the situation, and we'll wait to hear what else the police has to say. I'm satisfied. I have confidence in that particular Negro Justice of the Peace who would have been present. Okay? I do have confidence in that particular JP. So that is what is going on there. Anyway, any other comment, my spiritual advisor?
No, sir.
Any other thing you want to say? Because there was a man, we focus principally on Don Saunders, but there was a man who was shot in Bimini at a resort. It appears that when you're killed at the various resorts, because of tourism, we tend to hide the name of the resort. Then I think if the resort was unable to prevent murder, then why shouldn't we say exactly where it took place? So that is powerful. All right. So having said that, there was another interesting story I wanted to deal with yesterday, in which the Director of Public Prosecution was contemplating whether or not criminal charges ought to be brought against two Grand Bahamians who were accused by two lesbian women of raping them at Grand Bahama. And notwithstanding that there is video evidence that suggests there was no rape, that their sin was by consent. I don't know, maybe we should come up with a law that deals with sin. If people commit sin, we should prosecute them, but there seems not to be any crime, but they are contemplating it, perhaps for the purpose of tourism. They are contemplating. But we do know that there has been like about 18 videos which catch them in about 18 types of sin, as they maneuvered along the beaches, as they held hands, as they went from pillar to post. And it was during that period when they traveled from pillar or traveled from post to pillar that many of these alleged sins took place. And I think that we have to speak to our people. We have to speak to politicians. We have to speak to people involved in the tourism industry. There comes a point in your life when you have to avoid sin. If, for instance, you work in the hotel industry, you should avoid sexual frolicking. First of all, it is a sin. And second of all, you could be involved in controversy. Then if you are a politician, you have to be careful again. A politician should try to frolic with his wife. So that is the first thing that a politician should try to do. And if he is being accompanied by a female, then he should take other people who would shadow him and would cover for him. There are many men who are very, very jealous. Sometimes I give God thanks as leader of the woman them, that men who meet me in the company of their women, they're safe. They know I'm old, and they know that the only thing I offer their women is political and moral leadership. So they have no reason to be afraid. Most days, young men bring their mothers to me. I'm so proud. Do you know what it is for a man to bring his mother and say, Mr. Munker, behold my mother? Or if he brings his young wife, or perhaps his sister, they know that my relationship is pure. It's political leadership. So politicians gotta understand, if you are a politician, the first rule is you cannot openly keep sweetheart. That's the first thing. Why? Sweethearting is a sin. So that's the first thing. My spiritual advisor, you don't agree with that? Huh? Are you saying on the side?
No. I was...
Okay, because I thought you was making signs.
No. Talking about birthday.
It's birthday time?
No. Go ahead. Don't mind me.
Well, I'm being distracted by you.
Okay.
Okay? You're not objecting to anything that I say. Okay. And so we have to understand that in politics, you have to be pure. And if you're going to keep sweetheart, and I do not condone it, you can't keep sweetheart openly. And you cannot keep sweetheart with a married woman. You cannot keep sweetheart with a woman who has a boyfriend. And particularly a young boyfriend. We have to tell our politicians that. Stay away from keeping sweetheart. Stay away. Return home to your wife. And if you're going to keep sweetheart, my brother, you could be in trouble. This is Freedom March. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King. This is powerful. We'll be right back after the break. Hold on, everybody. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. Are you ready for birthday, Mr. Spiritual Advisor?
I hope I am.
Well, we will test you again. Are you ready?
Let's go ahead.
Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
A couple of folks. All right, so we want to wish this young lady here, and I think her name, happy birthday, goes out to Kelly Murphy, coming from your loving husband, Bishop Kirkwood Murphy, with loads of love, your children, especially your beautiful granddaughter, Barry, church family, and Linda. Love you. Enjoy your special day. So happy birthday goes out to Kelly Murphy. Now, let's see.
That is where our challenge are, eh?
Okay, so now let's wish Camille Dane her birthday. I understand it's going to be on Sunday, but nevertheless, we want to wish you a pre-birthday birthday shout-out. Of course, this birthday shout-out is coming to you from your sons. Happy birthday, Camille. It's going to be on the weekend. Saturday, that is. Sorry, your birthday's on Saturday. Forgive me, Camille. Happy 45th birthday to Camille Cheval Dane. Greetings coming from your sons and siblings and all the rest of your family. We hope you live to enjoy your 45th birthday. And of course, who else do we have? Yes, this young man, he is celebrating his birthday. Happy birthday, young man. All the best to you. We hope you live to enjoy many more. I did have your name saved someplace, but at some point during the show, I'll get back to your name. So all the best to you, young man. We hope you live to enjoy many, many more. There's somebody else that I want to wish happy birthday to, but I'm just trying to get the information. What else do you have there? Sounds that's you?
Yeah, is that this lady right here?
No.
Okay.
No.
Is that Principal Forbes' mother? No? Goodness me, what's going on here? Who sent that to her?
You sent to me? Okay, good. So let me look at this quickly, and let's see. All right, so yeah, we want to send a happy.
Yeah.
Send go ahead. You go do
ahead,
it then.
read
See
that
the
to
lady
me.
right here. That's is that Zesty Monroe?
Yes.
She turned 76.
Yeah, Zenita Monroe, she turned 76 years old. She's from Cat Island. And we want to wish her a happy, happy birthday. And she wants everybody to buy her number. Happy birthday, my love. This is powerful.
You can go back to the other one.
And then, of course, let us find Percival Forbes' mother.
Okay.
Put in Percival's name there because I think we did send it to the producer. Yeah, type in Percival Forbes' name. Yeah, you know how it is. Percival Forbes' mother, her birthday is going to be on Saturday, and they're going to have a big birthday party for her. Everybody is invited to it. Do you have his mom's picture? Really? Oh, come on, Butter. You're going to cause Percival to get mad with me. And these are such wonderful pictures of his mom. So we're going to send them to Mr. Producer, and he's going to put them up. Okay, put them up and then signal us when you do have them up, and it's going to be fine, okay? That'd be great.
All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to send a happy special birthday out to Miss Lady Janice Hunt. It's coming from a mother, Carrie May Hunt, her brother, Ricardo Hunt, sisters, especially Jacinta Turnquest, brother-in-law, Paul Turnquest, nieces, nephews, especially Nicia Turnquest. So happy birthday to this beautiful lady, Miss Janice Hunt. Let's see, who else do we have next, Miss Medusa? Yeah, we want to send a special happy birthday to Edison Sherman. Happy birthday to the best brother ever. God bless you, and we hope you live to enjoy many, many more. Happy birthday, Edison Sherman. Who else do you have there, Mr. Medusa? We want to send a happy birthday shout out to Anastasia Sherman Dorset. Happy birthday from your aunts. Enjoy your day, and they hope you live to enjoy many more. So happy birthday, Anastasia Sherman Dorset.
And then, of course, you said, go ahead.
You have any more photos? That's it, right? Okay, great.
Do we have Deaconess Lily Mae Forbes? Huh? That's Percival's mom. Yeah, those 4 beautiful pictures of them at the Church of God auditorium. Yeah, it's going to be her birthday. Yeah, and she has many children, okay? So she has like about how many children she has here? Goodness me. Her birthday, she's going to be 84 on the 30th of May. Then they are going to have a community party, okay? And birthday greetings come to Deaconess Lily Mae Forbes. She hails from Andros. And can we find the photographs? Okay. I listened to my producer. They're going to have a big party, and everybody apparently is invited to this party. So I have to go to the party because I'm told that they're going to have some. Yeah, there she is, Deaconess Lily Mae Forbes. She's going to celebrate a birthday on the 30th of this month. She's going to be 84 years old. And of course, it comes to her from the church family, the Church of God, and then of course, her 5 children. And among those children is the Honorable Percival Forbes, and they're going to throw a big block party, and everything is going to be there. So I hope to travel to that community to participate in the party, and I think it's going to be happy. It's going to be wonderful. So happy birthday, Deaconess Lily Mae Forbes. And that is powerful. Powerful indeed. Okay, Mr. Producer, I thank you, unless my spiritual advisor has some more.
No more birthdays. That's it.
Okay.
All the birthdays for today.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go off for a few seconds because I received a letter from a government agency directing me to comply with a particular rule. And so, in obedience to that letter, I went to the Registrar General's department this afternoon. On my arrival, I could not enter the double glass store. They told me, 1, the elevator wasn't working. 2, they had no internet. 3, the computers crash. 4, they cannot find any information. So I requested to see the Registrar General, to which they told me that she was not on the island of New Providence. I demanded, in the King's name, to be told where His Majesty's Registrar General is. And then, reluctantly, they told me it was Grand Bahama. So I attempted to reach Grand Bahama, and I could not reach Grand Bahama. Now it will appear that government agent who gave me a lawful directive that I'm not complying with the law. But I tried to. I did go to the Registrar General's office. I had difficulty getting through the double glass door. Then when I was successful, I couldn't get in the elevator. So I had to take my time and climb upstairs. Then when I got upstairs, they had me trapped in another room. So it took a long time before one of the women them discovered me in a room by myself and allowed me to talk to somebody. So all I want the government agencies to know, I'm doing everything to obey the law, but what am I to do if I show up at the Registrar General's office, the elevator isn't working, the computer down or crashed, ain't no internet, and the people tell me they ain't sure when I could get the document. I just want these government agencies not to accuse me of not obeying the law, because I try. Honestly, I tried. So please don't blame me, okay? And that would be powerful. Now, having said that, my spiritual advisor, is there anything, because this is Holy Week, and in the midst of Holy Week, we've had 2 killings. I think it's disgraceful that we have these murders at a point when we are getting ready to celebrate the death and resurrection of our Savior, Jesus Christ. I think it's horrible, horrible, horrible. And so I'm going to ask citizens everywhere, please go home straight, okay?
Go home straight or go straight home?
What should they do? Go straight home? My spiritual advisor say my language is bad.
Say go home straight.
So y'all should go
Why
straight
you suggesting
home.
they get on crooked day? Say
Well,
go home straight.
Go home straight. Go straight home. Thank you, my spiritual advisor. Go straight home. And then when you get home, lock the gates, if you have gates. If you have no gates, go in the house. Lock the door. Don't answer the front door. Stay inside. And let's avoid putting ourselves in danger. Then let us treat everybody well, so that people will forgive us our trespasses. So let's be kind. And if you miss and mash somebody's toe, say sorry. Or be like me. Every time they mash my toe, I tell them sorry. Every time they bump into me, I ask them to please forgive me for them bumping into me, so that blood will not shed. So this is a point in Christendom when we remember the death and resurrection of our Savior, Jesus Christ. And in the midst of all of this, Satan is having the better part of us. We are committing murders. We're ready for revenge. We cannot forgive. We have no love. Okay? So it's a very sad, sad situation taking place in the country. And the life of every citizen is so important. Every citizen is so important, even though today I'm only focusing on a specific one. And I do focus on Don Sanders because he's high profile. You may not be aware, he's arguing a case in the Supreme Court. And the court, I think, has given them all a week off. I've never said it publicly. I was so upset when I learned that the court gave Adrian Gibson, the other co-Negro accused, and the lawyers them like a whole week off. So I don't know. Maybe this is Holy Week, so that is why. Meanwhile, in the United States, I was devastated when I got the newspaper very early to find that the American authorities sentenced that young man, oh boy, what is his name? Bankman Fried. Do you know they sent him to jail for 25 years? When I read that newspaper, 6 a.m. this morning I got the newspaper. I was moved to go very early for the newspaper. When I picked up that paper and I saw Sam Bankman Fried sentenced to jail for 25 years. Man, I was so saddened over that. I felt like I knew him. Do you have a picture of Sam Bankman Fried? I sent you his photograph today. I cannot believe that the Americans could send that youth man, that young man, to jail for 25 years. Could they not have been merciful and recognize his youth? Yeah, he should have managed the business much better than he did. But he's been sentenced to prison for 25 years. Oh boy. Oh, I'm sad and over
So
it.
what are the conditions of the sentence? Because, you know, sometimes they are
I
eligible
do
for
have
parole
it here, but
after so many years.
when I saw 25 years, I stopped reading.
He probably won't spend that. He probably won't spend 25 years.
How much years do you think he would spend?
I would say on good behavior, he'd probably do 10.
10?
Max,
Man,
yeah.
that's so much years for that young man.
Which
There
means
must
he's
be
young,
a
which
way.
means he has more time. How old is he? He's in his 30s?
Yeah. There must be a way for us to convince the courts of the United States to be merciful to him.
Stealing $8 billion, Senator.
And I'm prepared to have him come to the Bahamas. But I really think, oh boy, I want the country to pray for Sam Bankman, notwithstanding his conviction and sentence. He's been very good to the Bahamas. He took care of the poor. He provided funding. He provided food. He looked out for us. He looked out for us. And I think it's a national disgrace that we did not organize as a nation to petition the courts of the United States of America, because I am convinced that if you sincerely petition a court of the United States, they will be merciful. I'm convinced of that. And notwithstanding that Sam Bankman blessed the Bahamas, every stratum of our society made money. The church made money. Everybody made money. Money. You mean to tell me we couldn't organize collectively and petition the federal judge? I'm satisfied that had we done so, the judge would have been moved and would have been more merciful to Sam Bankman. It's terrible. 25 years, boy. I'm hurt by it, and I didn't even get $1. I'm hurt by it, and Bishop Lawrence Rule didn't give me a plate of food. I even didn't get from Bishop Lawrence Rule any sweet potato bread. And do you know he promised me a pan of sweet potato bread? And it was on my mind, I might as well say it. And Bishop Lawrence Rule show up under the tree where I sit. And I wasn't there. And guess what he did? He gave it to the boys. He gave big pan of sweet potato bread that he promised me. And the bishop gave it to them. And all they did is they eat it, and they even didn't leave a slice for me. So I sit down with them, and I realized they really don't like me. Because if the bishop bring my big pan of sweet potato bread, and I believe a part of that was Sam Bankman love offering. And I don't know if it's the works of the Lord that I didn't taste $1 out of that money. So Bishop is going to have to bake another pan of sweet potato bread. And if I ain't there, he's going to have to carry it back to the church, call me, and then bring it back. But I never got one slice of that sweet potato bread. And everybody, must be about 50 of the men, they cut up my sweet potato bread and they ate it. And I just look at them and I say, these guys are something, eh? All they tell me is how Bishop could bake a sweet potato bread. Anyway, I got to put up with these things. Maybe that's how I'll get my blessing. But Sam Bankman went to jail for 25 years. And I still believe it is not too late to write the judge. You know, in America, America is so unique. You can do strange things. You can write letters and touch the heart of the judge. And I think we should move still to petition the judge. Can you imagine? Us, the Negro people, just write the judge and tell the judge, we, the Negro people, petition the court to set our brother, Sam Bankman, free. And that would be powerful, wouldn't it? I think so. Anyway, folks, Sam Bankman has gotten 25 years, and I'm annoyed that not a letter came from the Bahamas. Come on, we have to stop that. When white people come here to the Bahamas and they spread American money with us, and they're on their way to jail, somebody must write a letter to the U.S. court and ask for mercy. We must do it, okay? I'm tired of that. I can name off a number of wonderful white people who came here with plenty of money. We got some of the money. And when it was time for them to go to jail, we hid. We didn't say anything, all right? And we should speak out. I mean, I didn't get any of the money. If I did get some of the money, I would have had no problem in writing the judge and saying, my lady, I did get a couple of dollars. I didn't mean to do anything unlawfully, but I did get, please have mercy on Sam Bankman. All right? It appears that I'm the only citizen who's publicly saying that there should be given mercy to Sam Bankman because he has a golden heart. Watch what Sam did. Sam is like our Robin Hood. Don't forget who we are, you know. We are British subjects. Notwithstanding our independence, we are the king's subject. We had our Robin Hood. And Sam Bankman is our Robin Hood. What does he do? He keeps the rich man money and he shares it with us. Isn't that what he did? Him one should not go to jail for it. That's the way I feel. Please forgive me if you think I'm wrong. But I've been devastated from 6 a.m. when I opened up that newspaper and saw Sam Bankman been sentenced to jail for 25 years. I think the Americans are wrong. They shouldn't give him 25 years. I think they should have, give him a suspended summons. Yeah, a suspended sentence. Sam, we're going to sentence you to jail for 25 years, but we are suspending it. Now, what the government wants you to do is to go back out there, make some more billions, and this time distribute it equitably. This time, you will not come to the Bahamas and give it away. All right? That's what I thought. What do you think about Sam Bankman?
He went to jail, he committed crimes. So
For 25 years.
$8 billion sounds. I mean,
Yeah, but
come on,
that crime is not like a hard crime. No blood was shed.
Now you're going to be emboldening other people to
I'm
go and
not
steal.
emboldening. I'm talking about Sam Bankman.
They shouldn't go to jail.
No, Sam is different.
He's a criminal man.
Yeah, but Sam is different. Sam's look, he looks like an
a deceiver.
angel.
He was a deceiver, Sandra.
Yeah,
He lied.
Yeah, but doesn't he look like an angel?
Looks like deceiving.
He looks like a man.
The devil can be transferred or into angel.
But he looks like a man who did not sin. Doesn't he? Will there be no one in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to say, have mercy on Sam? Well, I say it. And I ain't get a damn dollar. I even ain't get none of the Bishop's sweet potato breads. Isn't that powerful? Anyway, what time is it, my spiritual advisor?
We're coming at the end of the segment.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like 5:25.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Goodness of mercy, man. The show going, I think we should take an hour.
Absolutely.
Do we take an extra hour?
The holiday is tomorrow, so
Yeah?
Sam deserved to go to jail. It is
Huh?
what it is. But
Anyway.
it is what it is.
Let's pray for Sam Bankman. God save Sam Bankman. He is a modern day Robin Hood. He took the American money and he spent it
Lavishly
in the Commonwealth of the
on a
Bahamas.
bunch of homes and
God have
condos
mercy on Sam Bankman.
and cars.
Lord have mercy on Sam Bankman.
He should be in jail.
God save the King. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. And of course, the national chairman of the governing Progressive Liberal Party, that's the Foreign Affairs Minister, Fred Mistral. He has also issued a statement in the aftermath of the death of the former Deputy Chairman of the Free National Movement, Donald Saunders. And Mr. Mitchell spoke about the horror of having learned about the murder of Don Saunders. So it's a very powerful statement which has been issued by the national chairman of the governing Progressive Liberal Party. So this is a time when the nation should come together in love and unity as we condemn this most heinous criminal act. And it's just horrible. We've had so many murders taking place in the country that we've become kind of insensitive, very, very insensitive. Don Saunders' murder has kicked us. It has shocked us. It has devastated us. It has come home. That's what has happened. It has come home, and it calls for political action. And one of the mistakes that politicians makes is they think it is about them. They think the policy, the governance is about how they think, as opposed to saying, what is the desired result of the people? And what is it that the people want? The people want to live in a safe society, free of fear, free of murder, free of crime. And so we demand capital punishment, and the Free National Movement should see the importance of that and should ask the government to sit down so that there can be a united front against these murders, and so that we can all resolve that if a person wants to commit murder, and if that individual is convicted in accordance with the law, they will suffer death. We can't have a society like this. And when we examine our history, Pinling understood it, Arthur Hanna understood it, Sir Clement Maynard understood it, that in order to maintain law and order, you had to control the criminal class. You had to punish the criminals. You had to punish the murderers. And when the murderers are punished, it reminds every citizen that we are subject to the law. And if we wish to go contrary, and we are caught, and we are charged, and we are convicted, we will pay the ultimate price. So it is my hope and prayer that Don Sanders' death will not go in vain, and that his death will be the catalyst. And I have led marches against the murderers, and I've consistently called for those who would commit murder to be executed. And this perhaps is a glorious occasion for the whole nation to march in unison for capital punishment. But certainly no one had the right to kill Don. We do not have the right to kill one another. It's wicked to kill a person. It's wicked. I always pray, whenever I get in an argument, I get upset, I say, Lord, don't ever allow me to take the life of any man. But it's so sad, it's tragic. Last night was terrible. People just called me all night, wanting to know if I heard that Don Sanders was killed. I said, yeah, I've heard that Don Sanders has been murdered. Oh boy, what a time we're living in. Mr. Spiritual Advisor, is it time to open the phone?
Yes, we're the call-in segment.
Go ahead, open the phone.
Call us 323-7775. This is our last show until next week, Tuesday, because of the long holiday weekend. So you can call us, engage us. Of course, the headlines is very tragic, and the murder seems to be increasing again. We got to find a way to assist with, helping these murders not to be committed. But call us 323-7775, 698-0775, 698-0776. We got about 20 minutes, I think, before the show ends. So you can call us so we can sit down and have a discussion. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Good afternoon, Ms. Monica.
Yes.
Ms. Monica, how are you doing today?
Listen, I am fine. How are you?
I'm good.
All right. What's on your mind?
I'm just calling to let you know that I was in a promotion exercise that happens this year. And I went to the bank yesterday, and my money is not there.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm an executive officer.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Is Monroe your minister?
Office work?
Is Monroe your minister?
No.
Who is your minister?
I live in the Eastern District.
Okay. Then I shall speak to he who is in the Eastern District.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live. No, we don't need calls? Okay. 698-0775, 698-0776. What's the name of the young man that was accused of killing Marco Archer?
Oh, we do have him here. What is his name? I haven't called his name in years, but he is in the newspaper.
Yeah, he's saying that the conditions of the prison is just so inhumane.
And what has the court found?
Well, he's calling on the government to take a look at the conditions of the prison.
Okay.
And see how best they can try to find a way to change them. He complained about accommodation. He complained about sanitation. He says that you still have to defecate in buckets. He says based on his condition, he's not getting a balanced meal.
Okay.
His meal is not balanced. He feels as if his humanitarian rights are being trampled on in prison. He complained about the cells and so on and so forth. It's interesting. What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, Who is representing him?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But the complaints. You hear these complaints.
I
Though.
got the impression that he went before a court.
I think he did.
I think he did. I have the story here somewhere. He went to court, and he is arguing that he's not getting justice.
Yeah, he feels that he's not being treated, humanely. And the whole prison system is just.
What is it that he is saying he has not received?
I couldn't read on the second page. I don't know if you have the full story, but he is complaining about some issues. You can't find the story.
Well, I'm looking for it. Let's talk while I look to see if I can find it.
You got a caller? Okay. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Yes, sir. Very blessed. Good afternoon. This is spiritual advice.
Good afternoon.
God save the King.
I'll give it to you, my company. After a sentiment server that as you cannot hear, and I want you to be encouraged and tell your mother to be encouraged. And I like to send the show to all the citizens, can be shortened, and to everyone that will be sports and one after my faith. Faith has so that heaven can hear. Let us continue to pray for them against Jesus, the common elders, for when dying to their sons and daughters will be born into the kingdom. That he'll have all murder doing it again.
Yes.
He'll have to drown in, and if the Bible says, my people, then the ministers them get together and let's join the faith and let us continue to pray for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the old-fashioned way, and watch it and see God can turn it around. And I like to send the shoe to the registry. I like to tell them be courage. I was there through the day, Mr. Manta. I used to with you, but I was the other day.
Yes.
I was talking about, and I want you to be encouraged. You all
have a good, yes.
Stay together. The spiritual advice is about blessed weekend. And let us continue to pray for one another. And I like to send on the show to my neighbors of the Golden Garden. And you all have a blessed weekend. God bless.
All right, take care now.
Ezekiel.
Hello.
Yes, you're live, caller.
How are y'all?
We're doing well. Could you turn your radio down first, please, ma'am? Could you turn?
Okay.
Yeah, please turn your radio down, please. Okay. So,
Hello.
yes, ma'am. You have to turn your radio down first, please, before you engage us.
It's turned down.
Okay, go ahead.
So I want to know why these stupid fucking.
Oh, man. What is this?
Next caller. Just relax, my spiritual advisor.
323-7775 is the number to call. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Oh, we lost that caller. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live.
Good afternoon, Mr. Master. On the passing of his father.
Sympathies for you.
The MP's family.
Yes?
My thing is the difficulty with money from complaining from this thing about it. He took us back. He shouldn't even be on death with him. He shouldn't even be complaining. He's hanging high.
Yeah, I guess he says while he's serving his sentence, he deserves to be treated fairly. And I guess he's calling the government to look into it, So, that is what it is. Are you still there, caller? All right, we have another call. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I recall the concern about bioelectricity.
Sorry, what was that?
This Rodney Montefiore.
Yes, it is.
I recall yesterday of the Biden.
You're breaking up. That's the problem we're having.
We can't.
Your phone connection isn't too good. We're sorry about that.
I recall yesterday about a concern matter of the payments on the by-election.
Yes, go ahead.
Because I wonder when who is responsible for the payment and being get paid because I was in 4 or 5 months.
Who do you work for?
The government.
Yeah, but which department?
Pardon me?
Which area are you working?
Well, they hire the government workers to work for the by-election.
Okay, so I think Wayne Monroe owes you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna have to let him know, but you're gonna have to call me off air, give me your name quietly, so I could go to him and say, listen, you owe sister so-and-so, and guess what, Monroe will pay you.
I mean, it ain't only me, it's a couple of us who work the Western and Bimini by-election.
We'll get everybody's name, call me, I will take it quietly to Monroe, so that he can pay y'all, okay? Because we have discussed it, and he has acknowledged that monies are owed. And once I take the name to him, and if your name is on the list, take it from me. Monroe is one man who loves to pay bills, okay?
Yeah, but it's been almost 4 or 5 months.
Well, get the bill together, give it to me, I can find Monroe.
But we come under parliamentary.
Okay.
He's the minister responsible.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
if you want to go to somebody else, but I mean...
No. I just want to get paid.
Monroe is the man who is the minister, and I feel comfortable asking him for your money, okay?
Okay, sir.
Get the names, you call me, you give it to me quietly, and I will quietly give it to Monroe.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller. 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March. You're live.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You're live, caller.
Yes, sir. How are you today?
Doing well. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon to you and Mr. Rodney Munker.
Sir.
Yes, yes.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome.
An anonymous caller out of Midwater.
Really?
Yes, sir. I haven't tuned in to the actual program, but I have something I'd like to explain.
Go ahead.
Midwater, the people in Midwater, the road has been devastated. The dock, there's no place to land vehicle.
At the dock?
And we need some action, sir. So I'd like for Mr. Munker to see if he can check into that for us.
Can you send me some pictures?
Okay, sir. I can do that. I don't have a problem with that.
Do you have my
Just
cell?
Give me your email address, sir.
Let me give you my cell. Ready?
Yes, sir.
801 57
Yes, sir.
60 801 5760. Take all the pictures, take them up close, take them far, and send me 1 or 2 video clips. Identify it. You send it to me, and I shall take it to the government, okay?
Thank you very much, sir.
Do well and send them quickly.
Oh, sorry. Welcome to Freedom March. No calls. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is he saying?
Godfrey Goodman called
Yeah.
me. Let's see what he says. It says, this child killer says prison conditions too harsh.
Right.
Convicted child killer Kofi Goodman filed a constitutional motion in the Supreme Court about the deplorable conditions he faces in prison while serving a 55-year sentence. Justice Renee McKay heard Goodman's submission as he sought relief from what he claims are inhumane living conditions. In August 2013, Goodman, also known as Edvardo Ferguson, was convicted of murdering 11-year-old Marco Archer in 2011. His conviction was set aside on appeal, and a retrial was ordered. He was again convicted on May 30, 2017, and was sentenced to 55 years. Archer's nude body was found near Goodman's home a week after the child was reported missing by his family. Goodman represented himself during yesterday's proceedings. After the proceedings, he was escorted from the courtroom with a smile on his face. He will remain incarcerated at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Service until he returned to court for Justice McKay's decision on May 24th. He is representing himself. Now, the journalists failed to tell us who is representing the state. What kind of journalists are they? If you're playing journalist, you give us two sides of the story. Kofi Goodman is representing himself, and who's representing the government of the Bahamas? We ought to be told. Or is it that the government is not represented? I don't know. If I was playing journalism, I would give two sides of the story. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Oh, we have a call, 323-7775, 698-0775, 698-077. Okay, sounds like we don't have any, we don't have any more calls.
Okay, this is powerful. Well, my spiritual advisor, this is coming to the end of the work week for many people, but there are thousands who must work, people who work on the police force, the defense force, at the government's own Princess Margaret Hospital, at His Majesty's prison. Many people in the tourism industry must work. So to those people who must work, we thank them, we congratulate them, and we want them to continue to work. But there are many people who will have like a little holiday. They'll be celebrating, they will stay home, they will have fun, and then they will return to work on Tuesday. But it's important for us to remain safe. And it's important to give kind words. And it is important many times to pretend like you do not hear insults. I do it every day. People are unkind to me, and I pretend like I didn't hear them, or I didn't see them, or I pretend like they're being kind to me, and therefore a word disputes. And sometimes you have to do that with your children. You have to do it with your wife, your husband, your parents, your neighbors. You have to pretend. And then, of course, quietly and politely walk away. And then sometimes you have to hide. It is my hope that I will be able to successfully hide over the next couple of hours from my people, the Negro people. So I want people to know, I'm hiding. I'm going to hide from you Negroes, because many of you are too violent and too rude. So I'm hiding. I'm going to hide. And that is what I'm going to suggest. Just hide, hide, hide. And sometimes you have to hide from your children. You have to hide from your wife. You got to hide. And blessed is the man who knows how to hide to avoid problems. So as you move about the society, if you're not able to hide, ignore insults and unkind words, and say a silent prayer in your heart. Lord, don't let me answer her. Lord, don't let me answer him. I just normally say, Lord, don't let me answer him, because he may punch the hell out of me. And you know what will happen if the country see people punching me? The whole country will get mad and say, you all stop punching Brother Monker. So, you know, we have to hide, but we have to be loving. And we're not loving, man. I really can't believe they killed Don. Oh, boy. There's something to think about, you know. I just saw him last week, Thursday, at the Supreme Court. And this week, Thursday, he's a dead man. Wow. Man, we are so hard. We are so mean. I mean, it's nothing. Just take a gun and shoot. Take a knife and stab. Take a cutlass and chop. Nobody says, boy, if you shoot him, what you gonna do when the police come? And the police gotta come. I can't believe they killed her. Can't believe.
Senseless.
Man, man, it's so sad.
Yeah.
Wow. It is so sad that we kill Don Sanders.
And you know, Sandra, the harsh thing about that is folks don't realize how many lives are impacted when you decide to take another person's life. So here it is, Don has a wife, he has a son, he has a daughter, he has brothers, he has a mother, he's probably an uncle, and of course all of his
He
political
has friends, he has
colleagues,
colleagues.
all of his political colleagues, all of his lawyer friends. It's like you impact so many lives when you decide, for some strange reason, whatever it is, that you have the right to take another person's life. And I think that's one of the things that, the government, the law in particular, needs to look at when people are murdered. They don't have the right to do that. That is solely up to the state to decide. You don't have a right. You're not God. You do not give life. Why you want to take it? But that's just how ruthless some people are. Like I say, they should not be a part of society. These are barbaric people who are not humane. And when they pick up these guns and take another person's life, they are supposed to be executed once found guilty. Purge the evil from among you, because it's wrecking society, But once again, my heartfelt and sincere condolences go to Don's family. His wife Tiffany and the children, his brothers, his twin brother. Man, I tell you, it's just wow. It's a shame.
So the question is, what is the society going to do? What are we going to do? What are our demands? Governments are to act on the will of the people. And the reality of the matter is there's no fear in the society. So Dawn having been murdered, what more evidence do we need that all of us are vulnerable? Either vulnerable to become victims, or we can be aggressors if there are no fear of the law. And all of us should be held in fear. All of us, because all of us have the capacity to commit murder. Dawn Sanders is dead. It's amazing. It's a sad, sad situation. Sad, sad situation. So the question is, what are we going to do? Anyway, the answer is in the hands of the governing Progressive Liberal Party and the official opposition Free National Movement. They must come together and make a decision, or the people must demand it. Do well, everybody. Happy Easter. Be safe. My spiritual advisor.
Yes.
If it pleases you.
Until next week.
Do well.
If it's the Lord's will.
God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Let there be peace. God save King Charles III. Let there be peace. God save. God save. God save. God save the King.